Welcome back to Chartwell Uplift, everybody. It is week 8 and we are here to check in and see the progress. So we have been contending with and dealing with a window issue at the front, which we will spend a couple seconds with and talk about in a minute. We have plumbers on site now starting to do their rough-in, well, a little bit of demolition work from a plumbing perspective, but also starting to get ready to install the new plumbing. I don't know why that was so difficult for me to say. So anyways, we've got those that stuff going on, and I think that's about it. There's been some more drywall removed and that sort of thing. So like, we're just gonna spin around and have a look and see what's going on. Maybe learn a thing or two along the way. Let's dive in. So not that it's like the biggest of deals, but I always wanna make sure that we're pointing this out when we're talking about our projects. We make sure our plumbers, and we require our plumbers to put hot water in red pipes, cold water and blue pipes. That prevents people from plumbing toilets with hot water. And also, you know, when you're opening walls up in the future, you open the wall up, you see a red pipe, you know it's got hot water in it. And if you see it's blue pipe, it's got blue or cold water. Duh. And then any sort of recirculation that we put into a clear or white pipe, so that every pipe has a meaning and a purpose. And yeah, does it take a little bit more time and effort from the plumbers to use different colored pipes? Do they maybe have to go to the wholesaler to go get a 1-foot section of red pipe because they forgot? Yeah, they do. But you know what? It yields a far superior result, and it makes sure that everybody knows what's going on now and in the future. And I think that is really worth it. Here we are in one of the bedrooms on the mainish floor. And so we've got all of the doors and things that we've saved and going to be reusing here. Grills are over here. Here's that white pipe that we have in here that'll be used for any sort of recirculation loop that we put into this project, which I believe is happening, but I don't remember all the details of every project. I apologize. I'll know when it's here, when it's installed. How about that? Okay, so here we are in the primary ensuite, and we have a radiant loop in the floor here. Now, this is not exactly where we want it to be for the future. And Matt was saying, well, hey, we need to worry about rerouting this and whatever else. And I said, well, it turns out, for Sprucehill anyways, and I'd love to hear your feedback in the comments, we find that even with having the hot water radiant in a bathroom, we still need to add electric radiant or electric in-floor heating as well on top of supplementary to the radiant in-floor. And the reason being is hot water does not necessarily make a floor feel hot or warm. It just makes the floor not cold. And so for most people, they want to have that warm floor effect when they are in here and they're in their socks or bare feet. They want to feel the heat coming through the floor. Well, the only way to do that is with electric in-floor heat, because the way that a radiant floor system works is like the temperature of the hot water coming in here and the desired output of this floor is only slightly above what the desired temperature of the home is, right? And that's how radiant floors work. If you want your home to be 21 degrees, well, in order for your home to be 21 degrees, your floor needs to be either 21 or just above. And as long as the concrete, which is this thermal mass, stays in and around that temperature, that's gonna keep your home warm, right? So that's not gonna feel warm underfoot, just isn't. So we'll be adding electric in-floor heat into this room to give these clients the effect of having warm floors. That will make it so that we don't need to move this radiant pipe. And again, like we might have to, depending on how things go, but hopefully not, because you don't really wanna mess with this unless you absolutely have to. Okay, so we are now in the primary bedroom and we've got the old deck here. So this is something that the team is going to be working on in the coming week to remove this existing wood deck and get ready to install a new torch-on membrane. So we've been talking a lot about how we're going to tent this off and tarp this off so that we don't have water pouring into the rest of the house. It is November, December in Vancouver, BC, and it does tend to rain in this beautiful city during that time of the year. So yeah, we need to get this off and see where water is going and make sure that whatever we leave behind is watertight and is going to stand the test of time. So, you know, this home is roughly 40-ish years, maybe slightly less than that. So it's definitely time to just look at things and and sort stuff out. Okay, so I unclipped my lav mic because I'm moving around and I noticed my audio is not great on other videos. But anyway, so what's happened here is the water was running down beside the window and getting into and behind the framing. And so we now have a rotten corner right here where you see the stucco face here goes back into the home. That's all rotten in behind there. So we're going to end up needing to remove this stucco here, right? And then we're going to remove some of the stucco across the front face here, which will also involve removing some stucco around the front door. And the reason for all of the stucco removal is stucco is not dissimilar to textured ceiling, like drywall texture ceilings. You can patch it, but you'll always know that it was patched. And obviously, like, that's not the kind of work that we like to leave behind. So we know, if you're going to be dealing with stucco, you've got to rip it apart and make it right. That's the deal with that. So anyways, we've got all of that happening here, and that is the rod. And this window above it is also screwed up now because this thing sunk a little bit. It caused the seals and whatever else in the window to break. So it's just a compounding effect, unfortunately. So this is actually going to turn into a bit more of a project than anybody really originally anticipated. Happens. That's a wrap on today, everybody. Thank you so much for taking the time and sticking through our videos. I really do appreciate it. Hey, a like is free and a subscribe. I know you have to sign in to do it, but I sure would appreciate it if you would be so kind as to subscribe to our channel. I would be so very grateful. Walk on by, gentlemen. It's not a big deal. Like, production trumps me bullshit into a camera. So it's important for our clients to know that just because I'm recording video, that doesn't mean that our projects slow down and productivity slows down. We get the hammer down all the time. That's the Sprucehill way. So anyways, where I was saying is, again, thank you so much for watching the video. Like, subscribe. In the meantime, if you have a home that is a little bit dated and needs some uplifting, we would love to be your partners in success. You can reach us on the phone here, website there. In the meantime, stay awesome. Thanks for watching. Catch you next time. Bye now.